It's Wednesday. It's time for BRAP. Welcome. Sit down and buckle your seatbelt and eat some fucking popcorn. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was different.
that was different, right? Got to keep people on their toes, right? I mean, I don't know. I
Did
felt
you
like I
run
just
the intro?
yeah, I did do the intro. You didn't see it?
Oh. No, I was looking at something else. I didn't know. My bad. But no. Yeah.
Slow-mo wasn't even paying
That
attention. He was like,
like on the next thing I know is that you're doing some other intro. You sound like a guy over
Sound like Rich
the
from
AP
Review Tech.
system or something. Did we say?
You sounded like Rich from Review Tech. Yeah,
I sound like Rich from Review Tech.
yeah, that's what it sounded like. It's like, where's he going with this? I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny.
You just need to add a belch in there at the end, just to keep people
Yeah,
out.
like Rich likes to belt and like podcast without his shirt on. So not
He
sure.
really does that.
He does, yeah. He'll do videos with his shirt on. You'll see his moobs.
Good grief. Good grief.
Yeah, but hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to BRAP. It's Wednesday night, and we got a lot to talk about. Big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Thanks everyone for coming by and hanging out with us this evening. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat. Please retweet. Let's see here. I'm trying to do something here. Okay, here we go. All right. So yeah, please retweet the link and hit the like button. Pound the like button. Hit it. Do it now. Right now. Go. Ow. Hit the like button. Ow. Do it for Maria. Ow. Anyhow, look, we got a returning guest. Now, this individual actually does work for PlayStation. He's a retail rep. We got Chrono back in the house. Chrono, welcome back to BRAP, man.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to have you back on because you guys have a big release coming up Friday. It also had some big news a couple of weeks ago with regards to the
some
acquisition
questions
of-
for you, Chrono. I just want.
Oh
just,
gosh.
Yeah.
Have you been talking to Forte again? No.
No. Maybe. But no, but no, I got some questions. I got some hard hitting questions for you, sir.
Oh, okay.
Hard hitting journalistic integrity questions.
I will do my best to deflect.
Okay, well, you know that. Hey, you have to. You gotta do what you gotta do. But I'll wait until Enrique's done with his intro before I get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess you're going to be on the hot seat today, Chrono. So yeah. But no, man, we're happy to have you because, you know, like I said, just big stuff going on with PlayStation. By the way, great article by Jeff Grubb on GamesBeat. If you haven't seen it, basically talking about how PlayStation can kind of do it all, and it's do it all meaning they can do services like Microsoft. They can build out their brand the way Nintendo's doing. With Nintendo's partner with Illumination to do that, but you know, Sony has got movie studios, and they got, you know, Uncharted's coming out to the theaters, and then they have The Last of Us, which is being, which is actually something that's going to be coming out on HBO. So, anyhow, great article. Check that out. I don't know if we'll talk about the time. Maybe we will, but we'll see. On that note, we got somebody who's I'm probably driving crazy today with trying to help me figure out what PC panel, new PC monitor I want to buy, because if you haven't heard the news, BRAP finally gave in. I caved in because I was reading that the chip shortage situation isn't going to get better anytime soon. And if the 40 series are coming out later this year, well, yeah, have fun trying to get one of those. And I said, what the hell? I have a 2070 right now, and I'm playing Dying Light at high settings with ray tracing on, and thank God for DLSS. But I'm playing, and I'm getting 65, 75 frames per second outdoors. Not bad. I got with ray tracing, one of the ray tracing feature sets on. Yeah, like you can't get that on a console, which reminds me, our 2070s are supposed to be obsolete. You remember that?
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about how the new consoles were supposed to be better than a 2080 Ti, and that 2070s were outdated. Well, yeah. Especially even when it comes to ray tracing, a lot of these consoles can't compare to even a 2060, which is the lowest NVIDIA card out there that would do ray tracing. So yeah, 2070 is just fine right now. Like you really don't need to upgrade. The only time people choose to upgrade is because they want to.
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you.
And,
Like, yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead, man. I cut you
No,
off.
no, I mean, I don't want to say only people who choose to. If you have a 2000 series or 3000 series, you won't need a 4000 series. Or even if you have a 2000 series, you don't need a 3000 series. If you have a 1000 series, I can understand you wanting to upgrade, but that 2070 is just fine.
Yeah, and I think Slomo, you had said, BRAP, Enrique, you really didn't have to upgrade, but man, I was talking to Game Logic. He bought a PC, sent me a picture of it, and it had all these fancy RGBs, and I got like the itch. And then I was thinking, Slomo's got a 3070, and he loves it. And you have the 3070 or 3070 Ti, I forget, but you were loving it. And then and then I was playing Dying Light. I'm like, God, if I could get more frames, right? If I could just get a little more. And I was like, you know what? I am going to gift myself a new PC. So I went to 3070. And I got to say, Slomo, I'm really excited about that CPU, man. I've haven't had an Intel chip CPU in quite some time, and strictly AMD for the past couple of years. But the more that I read about that i7 12700K CPU, the more excited I am about this computer, man, because apparently it's the real deal. So
yeah, you're going to you'll be able to do a lot more content creation and multitasking faster than you were doing before with this. So that's it's gonna be fun. I know the chats actually like, please don't talk about PC anymore. And even trying to do some revisionist history about people who were saying consoles were going to be better. It was a lot of y'all. It was a lot of y'all.
It was
you guys are very quiet on that now. But
yeah. And I gotta say, like, looking at because we got an update of Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk, the big Cyberpunk 2077 patch came out. Did a lot of quality of life updates. But when I look at like Dying Light 2 and Cyberpunk, and you look how, I gotta be honest with you, like I get like the value proposition of the Xbox Series S. I think if you're playing like indie games, last gen games, maybe that console makes sense. But what happens when these games start becoming more demanding? Like I feel like Microsoft should have never made that console. I feel like they do what Sony did.
Which the One X?
No, the Series S.
Oh, the Series S. No. Look, we can't forget that like there's a shortage right now. And the only thing that is being capable of being like created right now and distributed in any kind of like quantity is the Series S. I think it turned out to be a good idea for them. Yeah, is it compromised on performance? Absolutely.
No, that's my point. But
yeah.
Couldn't they just made a series? Couldn't they just made the One X still?
No, but to see the One. Well, okay.
The One X.
The One X is a different architecture. It's one. It's not. The CPU in the One X is abysmal, and so like even though the One X was just fine as far as like for current games, it wasn't, as time went on with like those slow mechanical hard drives in it with that really bad CPU, like having to design your games around that would have been limiting to first party.
They're still doing that.
And so, well, no, now they're not. They're done designing games around last gen.
Well, I meant like they're still developing like you still get third party games on there, and up until this year they were still
third party can
stuff.
support it all they want, but if first party's not supporting it, then like, and they're not making any more units either. They stopped making them a year ago. So like I understand they need to do an upgrade. Like if you look at things that the Series S does,
they should have done a digital Series X.
A digital Series S.
X.
I mean a digital Series X.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they'd be in the same situation that Sony's in at the moment. I agree with
Yeah.
that as far as performance goes, but as far as distribution and availability of consoles go, they would be just as in a just as bad situation because if you look at the APU of the PS5, that digital, even though it's $100 cheaper, it's the same APU, it's the same internals, the same everything. And so when there's a shortage and there's a difficulty in getting units created and out the door to supply to support demand, they would have been in the same space. They were in the same problems. And so it in the short term, so far it looks like making the Series S was a smart move. Now you're gonna have some games where the performance is going to be ass. You're going to have some games where developers, especially third-party developers,
Like-
are not going to take the time to make sure that you
That's
can
my
hit
point,
60
Sloan.
FPS on the games.
I mean, some
But-
look at Cyberpunk.
But I mean,
and
but
look-
hold on. But yeah,
Yeah.
look at Cyberpunk. Even on their spec sheet, they said that the Series X and the PS5 are going to have drops from 60 FPS. That red engine is just demanding. I mean,
That's
extremely demanding. It's still Cyberpunk still being used as a benchmark for new cards that come out on PC.
That's the one. Let me tell you something. At any game I've ever played on my PC, and I've had my PC for going on 3 years now, that's the one game that really pushed my GPU hard and my everything. Like it was like, yeah,
the most powerful GPU out right now can't run that, like ultra settings, all ray tracing on, even it without DLSS, it cannot run it at 4K 60 native 4K resolution and 60 frames per second.
they had it running on a 3090 on the Cyberpunk stream with the developers from CD Projekt Red were actually showing it on a 3090, and I think it was like, oh, they're like, oh, this is 4K 30 with the, this is 4K. This is what 4K looks like, and you can, now you can run benchmarks and stuff like that, and they had a frame counter, and it was above 60 FPS, but I'm like, damn, I think it was like hitting 70.
They probably had DLSS on.
Oh yeah, they definitely had DLSS on, yeah. But
Yeah. Without
DLSS,
it's huh?
I said no. DLSS is the game changer.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then AMD's FSR is going to start getting implemented more and more on the console side of things. We see there's like a few games, I can't remember which ones, that have had super resolution used on it, but it's going to get implemented more and more as AMD becomes develops it better. It's getting better. It's not where DLSS is, but it's definitely getting there, and it can be used on even NVIDIA hardware. It can be used on anything, which is great. But no, just it's I think the Series S fits a particular role. That role isn't to be the best performing piece of hardware out there. It's to be a secondary console for people who just want to play a particular kind of game. Let's say you're a big PlayStation guy and you just want something to play. You want to try Halo, but you don't really care about having the best performance. Go get yourself a Series S. You want to play Ori, go ahead and get yourself a Series S. It's, if you care about performance like that, that's not the platform for you. Period. It's not. Don't get it. You care about making sure that your games perform at the best, look the best on your OLED. Don't get yourself a Series S. You're just doing yourself a disservice because it's not going to fulfill the needs that you have for it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I don't know. I just thought, I was just thinking out loud. Just think that I would have preferred to. I don't know. Anyhow.
Shout out to NeoWise with the $5 Canadian. He says, I thought Series S and X use the same chips in architecture. So how can you make more of one than the other if there are chip shortages? I can't give you all, I don't know the exact details to why NeoWise. It is not the same APU though. So an APU is a combination of a CPU and GPU. It's an all-in-one chip. There is a different chip for the Series S than the Series X. That Series S is like 4 teraflops. The Series X is what, 11, 12, whatever their number was. I can't remember. But regardless, it's a different chip, and without having all the details to it, we just know that there are able to get more of that chip out of AMD for the Series S than they
APU,
can for the Series X. So
Yeah,
that's all we know. That's what it is. You know, I there's a shortage of this kind of stuff getting done through TMSC, who does all of the actual manufacturing of this stuff for the majority of the companies out there. If you're not Intel or Samsung, who do their own, and they're just like there's just a backlog of getting this stuff created. So there it is.
And Sony's actually, I believe Sony's actually building a plant with them in Japan. That hasn't.
Yeah, that's the plan, but we won't see the benefits of that for a bit.
Yeah,
So
a long time. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So,
yeah,
tell you what,
you're talking about getting your new computer, and I'm just like, I just can't wait for my my new phone to come in on the 25th. So
yeah. All right, let's.
man.
Yeah, sorry for the rant there, guys. I just, it wasn't a topic, but just something I wanted to talk about. But yeah, so I do want to talk about Nintendo, because Nintendo's in the moves, making moves, but probably the wrong moves. So they're in the news for making the wrong moves. Nintendo will be removing 3DS and Wii U games from their eShop starting 2023. Nintendo. You love tempting the pirates. What do you guys think about this? Because this is, I mean, I hate to say it's kind of classic Nintendo. I don't understand why they're doing. Well, I guess if I had to take a guess, somebody said, "Why do you think they're doing this?" Oh, they're going to sell these games later on again on their store, and people will buy them. But Chrono, what do you think about this, man? Like Nintendo removing old games essentially from the Nintendo eShop.
It's funny because it's the same people that were complaining when PlayStation did something, but the biggest difference is like Nintendo is actually warning you. It's like straight up, you have a year. If you don't get those games between now and then, that's all on you. With PlayStation, we fucked up and we practically shut the damn thing down overnight, practically. And I don't know. It makes no sense to keep it up and spend the money on upkeep on everything and just having the legacy stuff up. And again, they're warning us. They're letting us know we have a year. You have 1 year to download and get whatever you want. And buy it, and then we're shutting you off. So I don't know. I get it, but at the same time, I haven't turned on my Wii U in over a year. I my 3DS, I think I've already gotten everything that I want or need. Maybe there's a few $10 games that I need to pick up, but otherwise, it's just I don't know where the anger is coming from, because chances are you've stopped playing already. So what exactly?
I get that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Chrono. I always think though it's nice to give to have options though, and I think my concern was that they'll come back and sell some of these games again, repackage them somehow, right, and then sell them.
No doubt, but gamers, we're stupid. We'll buy them again. That's the thing. And Nintendo is notorious. Nintendo fans are notorious for that. I mean, I'm right there. I mean, do I really need Chrono Cross? I have a completely good working copy of Chrono Cross from a PS1. Am I gonna rebuy the game when when the remaster drops in a couple of weeks? Yeah, I am. And we're the reason. We're the problem is what's happening. Yeah.
I get it. But I also, I understand though some people getting mad, and I think maybe some of this has to go with Nintendo, the way they do things, and how they really do kind of repackage old games and sell them again at like $60 or whatever the case is, and they kind of but it works for them, and so there is that argument there that they're going to keep doing it because the market supports it. And you're right, Chrono. in the regard that like the gamers do it themselves. People are supporting this stuff because the market is dictating. The consumers, the market, are saying, "Yeah, we'll buy this stuff." I mean, I would like them to see. I'd like to see more game preservation in that regard, and them keeping stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, it just. I don't think I don't like the announcement, but I'm also not like, out here yelling, damn Nintendo either. And I'm not getting super angry. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this. But again, I can certainly see there are some people out there that still buy these games, and now you're taking that away from them, and that's unfortunate. But there's also there could be a business case internally here sometimes why these decisions are made. Maybe there's some data points that Nintendo's looking at, and they say, you know what? It just doesn't make sense for us to, financially speaking, keep these games on a platform where people aren't even buying them. So,
I mean, when it comes to like when PlayStation had made that decision, a lot of it was one, the lack of people purchasing, but two, other factors, like our European side, where there are rules in place in terms of making purchases digitally that it was just financially made no sense for us to keep it up. So it was just easier to shutter it. So there are a lot of factors that probably play into it, and it all boils down to cost. So, yeah, I mean, as gamers, we want to talk about preservation and having access. But from a business perspective, it may not be something that makes sense.
Well, isn't it when it comes to like preserving these games, allowing someone who decides, hey, I want to go back and play, I don't know, like Tekken 1 or I don't know, like any old game from the past. Like, I understand closing storefronts because no one's using them, and it's a waste of resources or a waste of money that you are spending to keep those resources up. But I think that you need to provide a alternative to that, such as having those games available in a service. Like potentially that might be what Spartacus is. I'm not going to push you, Chrono, on whether that's true or not. But like just like a method of for people to say just digitally download a game that they may want to pick back up again and try again, or even buy it, through the current store that you currently have with PS5 store, PS4 store. I think it's kind of like interesting that the backlash that Sony got for closing the Vita store was so big, yet Nintendo is doing the same thing, and it's not much of a peep happening from it, from gaming media or the gaming community. I think that's interesting that like Nintendo seems to always get a pass with this kind of stuff, and they are the biggest offender of it because we know what the extensive work that Xbox has done in order to allow you to play older games. They've done a lot there. We know with PC that any game that you own is going to be available for you to play forever and ever on your hardware, because of it's a free and open platform. But even PlayStation has done far more than what Nintendo has done when it comes to that. Instead of actually allowing you to play games that just happened a generation ago, they resold the same game for more. It would barely any changes whatsoever, and I'm talking about that Zelda's Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Barely any changes whatsoever. That game gets resold for $10 more than what it sold at when it first came out. Like, come on, like they don't put any really that much of an effort into it. I know they do have like something on with their online service where you can play like Super Nintendo games, but even that was like the performance of those games were awful. So like they definitely got to do better in this regard.
I am feeling so exposed right now because it's just like, yeah, I bought it. Shit. I'm one of those people. I'm just like, oh my god, Skyward Sword. Oh my god, again. And yeah, you're right. It's exactly the exact same game. Oh my god, it has slightly better textures. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, Slow-Mo.
My
Like
bad.
that, but that's kind of like I think that's part of it too. Like what you just mentioned, they'll come back and repackage a game, and then without any real like upgrades, and people nostalgia's a hell of a drug. I think people are gonna. I mean,
It is.
and Nintendo just get they I mean, for lack of a better word, they can kind of get away with it, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's that brand loyalty. People are loyal to brands. I mean, we see it all the time. Sometimes that loyalty takes people to weird places, but sometimes it's people buying things over and over again because they love them. They love those things. And Nintendo's a very strong brand in the gaming space, and there's a lot of people that want whatever they put out. It's really interesting because no one else can do that really. Maybe Sony to some extent, but not. But definitely not Microsoft. Yeah, I definitely don't think Microsoft would do that. Sony might be able to because they've been around a little bit longer. But yeah, just interesting. So, but it's interesting. Like I've seen some media articles about it. I haven't come across any media type, and I could be wrong. There's maybe someone did speak out about it, but I haven't seen the level of anger, I guess, levied at Nintendo for this as I did when Sony was pulling the Vita stuff, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, and I'm not, and you are the problem, Chrono. If you're getting that Chrono Cross, man, you are certainly the problem because there is nothing. I don't. That remake or remaster. It's a remaster, right?
Yeah, it's a remaster. It doesn't look
that
like
remaster
they did
doesn't
anything.
look that great.
But I'm there. I am so there.
I mean, Slow-Mo, can't you get Chrono Cross on Steam still?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I know you could definitely emulate it. Whether it's available natively through a store on you said on Steam, right?
I thought it was available on Steam at one point. I could be wrong.
I'm about to check it down. I'm not sure. I know like a lot of Square stuff is available on Steam. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's available.
I still have the disc, my PlayStation 1 disc, and I think I downloaded it on my PS3, which means I have access to it on my Vita. Do I really need to buy the game again? Yes. The answer is yes.
Correction. Chrono Cross is not on
me.
Steam. The new one will be available, but the old one is not available. But you could definitely emulate it with no problem. So
we don't condone pirating.
I mean, look, I'm not laughing just to laugh. I'm just, yeah, come on now, come on.
We don't, yeah. So I gotta throw that warning out there. Are you guys talking about Wendy's in the live chat? I saw Wendy's and made me think of fast food.
Wendy's.
Talking about. Yeah.
I guess y'all like diarrhea today or something. I don't know.
You don't like Wendy's?
No, I'm good, man. I'm not really big into fast food, honestly. So,
yeah, I don't eat that much fast food anymore, man. I used to, but I don't know. That's not my thing, really. All right. So, I almost called you Chrono Trigger. Chrono. Chrono. We gotta ask you some questions, sir. We gotta ask you some questions.
All right.
Last time we had you on BRAP, Microsoft had just made this major acquisition. They bought Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
And we had you on. You were talking about your retail partners. You're like, what's going on, Chrono? Now it seems that Call of Duty is in fact, and I called it, in fact going to be multi-plat. Still going to be on Sony PlayStation, right?
Yeah. At least that's what he says.
Yes. But Sony, what is it? I can think about a week later, announces the acquisition of Bungie. Now, we talked about the acquisition, when it happened here on BRAP. And again, I think, if you would have told me 20 years ago when Halo came out, 21 years ago this year, actually, when Halo came out, I would have laughed in your face if you would have said, Sony's going to own Bungie one day. I would have been like, ha, yeah, no, not happening. but they do now. But what's interesting though is that they're not keeping any of the content locked down for exclusives. And I've seen some people say, "Oh, it doesn't benefit Sony or it doesn't benefit me as a gamer." I don't whatever. I guess I could see that argument not maybe benefiting the individual from a, I guess, exclusive perspective. But if they were third party anyway, and you had interest in playing those games, you're going to play those games anyway. So why does it matter at that point if you had interest in them as a third party developer? Anyhow, what did you hear about this, man? Like, did you? Now we know that the home office doesn't really fill you in at all the time. But did you have any inkling that this was happening or going to happen?
No, actually, it was very much a surprise. Being on the East Coast, we're the first to see the things when everyone else is waking up on the West Coast and everything like that. So, I was just starting up my day, going out into the field, and all of a sudden, my the home Slack channel that we have that we use for all of our various rep team members started blowing up, and everyone was just sharing the news. It's like, we purchased Bungie. It's like, wait, what? We couldn't wrap our heads around it, and then of course as the day went on and we started finding out more information, it was like, all right, this is going to be very interesting to see what happens. And then of course, coming to find out that they're practically an independent studio, they're maintaining their independence, things are going to stay multi-plat. It just became more and more like, oh, all right, I see. So what exactly, what did we pay for? It was the giant question. And shortly after the announcement, we actually had a Q&A with Jim across the company, and it was interesting. And I'm sure a lot of the stuff has already trickled down and been repeated.
You got to speak to.
Let's talk about this Q&A, Chrono. Let's talk about this for a moment.
That's what I want to know.
Did anyone ask the question about this? Was Bungie ever make it exclusive for PlayStation? Did that come up at all?
No, he made it very clear during the Q&A. And again, like I said, a lot of this you may have already heard as it got filtered through the news outlets and stuff like that.
Wait, real quick, Chrono. So I just want to clarify. You were on a call. You were speaking to Jim Ryan.
Yes, yes, Enrique. We know this. Let's focus. Let him speak.
Someone's like, "Shut up." Sorry, slow-mo. Go ahead, Chrono.
No. So yeah, during the Q&A, one of the questions that came up is like, so what exactly did we buy, or what was the point of the purchase? By giving Bungie maintaining their independence, well, what exactly are we getting out of it? And Jim was very clear. Jim, like I'm on a first name basis with a guy, but
hey Jim, very it's Chrono.
Hey, how are you? But he was very clear in saying that it's less about the IPs and more about the experience that they can bring. If you look at the way the industry is moving, definitely towards games as a service, and definitely as a as we look for a multiplayer kind of game, and while as great as our studios are, Bungie, that's their bread and butter. This is their expertise. This is where they can help all of our other studios. They have access to all of our tools, to all of our teams. Those teams have access to Bungie. How can we make the best multiplayer, best games as a service
Chrono,
game?
Would you say that Bungie was acquired and to become more like consultants for live service gaming more than anything? In
many ways.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to also say, how would that? Although this might be a question that you may not have the answer to, but how does that change the everyday Bungie employees' workflow? Like, because like you go to work, I'm working on Destiny. I'm working on one of the two other games that haven't been announced yet that Bungie's making. Now we've been acquired by Sony, by PlayStation. What has changed for my actual workflow? Am I still just making environments in Destiny or working on the gunplay or whatever? Or am I now also consulting with Firewalk Studios? Or am I now consulting with, say, particular Guerrilla Games' second team who's working on a multiplayer game? Like, am I doing all this extra stuff now?
In many ways, yeah. And that was the implication that it came during the Q&A. It's just like Bungie now has, not only do the other teams have access to the wealth of knowledge that Bungie has, but now Bungie has access to everything that PlayStation has. I just thinking off the top of my head, imagine if what Bungie can do with the with what's Gorilla's engine that they use. I'm
Decima engine.
Decima.
Yeah, the Decima engine. Yeah,
Hey,
imagine
Chrono,
what they can do. They have access to that now. Yeah, go ahead.
Chrono, I want to walk something back here. So it's interesting because, you know, what you're describing in the Q&A with Jim Ryan is pretty much what he alluded to, you know, to the media. And it's interesting because I think, and tell me if you agree or disagree, but a lot of Sony's acquisitions have been very much like focused like that, where it's not necessarily buying a studio for an IP as much as it's buying a studio for, you know, the talent that studio brings, right? The ability to create certain genres, or maybe there's some technology that they have that Sony doesn't have. It's never just the IP per se, right? Would you agree with that?
Very much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, very much. It's always been that's always been the approach of PlayStation. We are very much about finding the people that we work well with within the kind of environment that we want and the kind of games that we want. And so you know, when we do decide to extend that wallet, you know, to purchase them, you know, it's because we have a rapport with them. We know what they're capable of, and we know what they can do. Whereas, you know, with Microsoft, you know, yes, they ended up with the various purchases that they got some really great developers, but in many ways they were doing it to protect those, to get access to those IPs, as opposed to the studios. Although, you know, they now have access to those studios. So it'll be very, that's PlayStation has always been about the talent. So
yeah, that's a great point. And so Jim kind of doubled down then on the fact that that this isn't about bringing exclusive content. Did you get the vibe? Was there any kind of, because I think he said this in an interview with, I think, GameMinistry.biz, that there's going to be more announcements coming. Now, have you heard anything? Like, I mean, because there's a lot of stuff. I'm hearing some things, man. I'm hearing, you know,
we heard some stuff, Chrono.
Stop trying to get him fired. Stop trying to get him let go from his job.
Hey, Forte, did you ship me my
He
Series
won't
X
be
yet,
fired if he phrases it in a way that doesn't make it sound like he's being definitive in what may happen.
Plead the fifth.
Okay, look, we're going to throw some names out there. And
blink once if it's
right. If you pause for longer than a second, we know what's up. No.
We know what's up.
No, we would want to do that to you. We can talk off air though. But no,
God.
But no, I just find that like that fascinating that he's you know, he did the huge Q&A with the entire company, kind of just get everybody on the same page. Makes sense, right? Have you guys been told anything? It was a surprise. So. Yeah. Have you guys been told anything in regards to how, like, let's say you go out to Forte's GameStop and Forte and the staff there have questions about this acquisition? Have you guys been told anything to say to people in particular about that?
No, just the company line that you've been hearing, you know, through the various, you know, outlet, you know, media outlets. You know, that's pretty much our company line. You know, I'll be honest. I you know, I'll drop a little, you know, saltiness towards Microsoft's way, but hey, I get paid to show for PlayStation. I'll, you know, Just gotta rub.
And
you
that's
gotta rub
always
some salt
great to
sometimes.
get
I
paid
have
to
a-
shill. There's
Hey,
a
at
lot
least
of people out here who don't get paid to do that. They do it regardless, though.
I
A
have
lot
a
of people are
question
doing pro
for-
bono work here for Microsoft and PlayStation.
I have a question for you, Chrono. So have you been in a bunch of you've been in a bunch of stores since this has went down. Have you come across a GameStop or a Best Buy or a Walmart that you've been in where it's like, man, I can't believe that PlayStation owns Halo now?
Luckily, a lot of the people are better, have a better understanding than that. So
That's
yeah,
high praise coming from you, man, because those gaming sections in Best Buy and Walmart, they I don't know, maybe
look, the
better at Best
60-year-old
Buy.
grandma, the 60-year-old grandma in a Walmart, she usually just is an Atari fan. What can I say? So yeah.
Cool. Well, that's all I needed to know. I just wanted to see if the stupidity ran rampant on in actual retail stores like it does on Twitter sometimes.
Yeah, I saw some idiots. I'm going to call them idiots who thought that Sony owned Halo. Like, come on, people. What do you guys do? Are you guys not paying attention? But so Chrono, okay. But Jim Ryan, so this won't get you in trouble because Jim Ryan has said expect more news like this, more or less, right? Are you hearing the same thing? Are you kind of like excited about what those things might be?
Speculate. Let's speculate.
Yeah, this is
like
pure
you tell
speculation.
You tell us what you think it might be.
Oh my god!
I've been hearing the same rumors that you have.
Oh, really? Like which ones? Which ones?
Just
Yeah, why don't we speculate on what you've heard, and we could talk about what we heard.
Man.
A lot of Japanese companies. Everyone is swearing up and down that PlayStation is in line to try and pick up a Japanese company like a Konami or a Capcom.
So like publishers, talking publishers.
Yeah, which is weird because that's just not. Again, I mean, we historically have shown that we don't do publishers, but that's what everyone is saying. Those are the rumors that everyone keeps saying, and I honestly
What
don't
do you
agree.
think, though? Do you think your company's going to acquire a publisher or not?
I don't think so, especially in the Japanese side of things. I don't think that's going to happen. What I do think is going to happen is that you're going to see a lot more partnerships. You'll see a lot of you're going to see a lot of exclusives or timed exclusives appearing first on PlayStation, for this generation. I have no doubt that that's going to happen. And it's not on. It's not Microsoft's fault. I understand, Microsoft, the audience is different. Their focus, their reasons for doing what they're doing are completely different than what PlayStation is looking to achieve. So but I do think that you'll definitely see a lot more blue branding for marketing and or exclusives. So
okay, so like they already do a lot of that already with Square Enix and Capcom. So like you see them expanding beyond that with other Japanese publishers or just worldwide, like everywhere, because when your competition acquires a third-party publisher that has been big for you, and now the 70% of the revenue that they generated on your platform is now your competition's revenue, I could see them wanting to promote other games that would be in competition to their games, so to speak. So, and a lot of those games aren't Japanese games. So, could you see them doing timed exclusives outside of the ones that they've been typically doing and getting successfully with Square Enix and Capcom?
Well, beyond the Japanese companies, I would not be surprised if we strengthen our relationship with Take-Two and 2K. I have no doubt. I mean, we have a very strong relationship with them, particularly in the Grand Theft Auto space. I mean, you see how much, you see how important that is in PlayStation 4, the online stuff, the free stuff that we give to customers that have a PlayStation Plus account. Those kinds of partnerships, I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to work very, very hard to try and strengthen and bolster those relationships.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that would be pretty damn expensive to try to get like a timed exclusive for like GTA 6. Like that would be, I don't know if I don't even know if unless you're buying somebody, whether like how much kind of money that you have to put down in order to get Take-Two to make that kind of move. But I
Very
mean,
true, but it's
yeah.
amazing. It's amazing the kind of marketing money that we can use to make people think that it only exists on PlayStation. The power of marketing really does help. I mean, it happened with the original. Well, I don't know how many times Grand Theft Auto 5, but Grand Theft Auto 5 for the longest time. I mean, even I remember when Call of Duty PlayStation got the marketing rights for Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. When I would go into stores, so many people swore up and down that, oh my God, it's only on PlayStation. Just like, no, no, it's available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's available on other systems. It's just that, there'll be some bonuses for going with the PlayStation.
I remember when you walked in my store back in 2014, 2015, and we had the feature gondola set up, and Destiny was on it for PlayStation, and I had cover art. I personally made cover art for Xbox, and you was like, "Now you ain't supposed to have that up there." I was like, like you ain't see that." And because literally it was that tight.
I'll never forget people were so mad in the Xbox community at Sony for that. They were like, Sony is anti-consumer, and people were so upset, and they would say they were being deceptive. And I'm like, this is just business. you know? I mean, Microsoft, that's the thing. Like people, this comes up quite a bit where I see people saying, the whole the outrage over by some people for being upset that Call of Duty wasn't exclusive and Sony gets all these exclusives with third parties. I mean, like people seem to forget that it's not just Sony that Sony just doesn't demand to Bungie in 2013, hey, we don't want your marketing to be on, or to have Xbox associated with it in any kind of way. Like that is something that the publisher developer agrees to in partnership with Sony. It's not a one-way street. And Microsoft can also make those deals. Sometimes they do, but often, if you guys remember, with the there was the there was the article by Imran Khan where he was saying that Sony's been very aggressive with third-party partnerships. They've even outbid Microsoft in many instances. This is the start of this gen, so it's not just it's two parties here, and that's my point. People always kind of point the blame at Sony, and it's not just them. It's the publishers, developers who enter these agreements with them because it's advantageous for them to do so. They're doing so because they get some kind of benefit from it. So,
yeah, very much so. I think a lot of people forget that. It's just like when we approach these companies, just like, here's what we can do. Here are the tools that we have that we can make your game successful, particularly on our platform. Will you sign a marketing agreement with us if we can offer you these kinds of things? And in fact, me being out there doing what I do is part and parcel of that deal. It's just like, Microsoft unfortunately no longer has an active Xbox rep. So they don't really have those boots on the ground talking to the people. And
wait, so Microsoft Xbox doesn't have retail rep?
They used to, but they weren't actually hired by they weren't actually employees of Microsoft.
I'm going to be messy. That's because they got people on Twitter doing a pro bono work for them. No, stop. Forte being one of them, but go ahead.
I get paid. Remember?
That is true. But yeah, so me being out there is a part of that marketing deal. Me talking about their game. So, and it's something that Microsoft can't offer. So.
That's interesting, man. Really interesting. Does Nintendo have a retail rep?
Yes, yeah, they do.
Yeah, he's awesome.
What you trying to say about?
He plays the guitar and he plays in a band. He's cool.
Yeah, the
That's just
Nintendo rep
that's just
for there is very cool.
that's just really odd that Microsoft doesn't have a retail rep. I just don't understand that.
It's the weirdest thing because especially now we've talking to the Microsoft rep, they decided that they're going to focus on like their Surface Duo and stuff like that, and they don't go to games stores like GameStop. They go to Sam's Club to try and sell their Surface Duo instead of trying to sell an Xbox.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Very interesting. Let me grab some super chats here real quick. Neo Wise, the $2 super chat says Xbox paid for Activision games on Game Pass day one. And then Neo Wise again with the super chat. I got to find it. Says the $2 super chat says Xbox started the whole timed exclusive thing. Thank you for the super chats. All right.
Back in the day, I think Microsoft was a lot more aggressive. And it's just funny you're talking about like the money that they spend. It's just like you would think that for as deep the pockets that Microsoft have, that they would be able to convince, companies to go their route. But they just weren't able to. Here's what it is, I guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, they did. They were super aggressive in the 360 days, there's also speaking of like Japanese acquisitions, there's that thing going around that Microsoft could acquire Platinum Games. I don't think they make an acquisition with the pending approval of the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, but stranger things have happened.
They don't.
I hope. Hey, I would love to see
Scalebound.
I would love to see Scalebound back on the Xbox. I was hyped when they made that announcement, but and Hideki Kamiya's like, hey, we want to make it. But you don't want to see that Slimo though, right?
No, I don't. No, I never thought that. I never thought the game looked interesting to me, and considering Platinum's track record, yeah, I don't think it's going to be good. So
it depends on which team in Platinum is making
A
the
team,
game,
not the B team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, but you're right. There is an inconsistency at times with Platinum, but I would be if there's anything that would get me to drop money on an Xbox is them acquiring Platinum games. That would be for me. So
yeah, I mean, like if they, the thing with Platinum, they don't really own any IPs per se. Like I don't think they.
No.
Yeah. I mean, like,
and they usually need the help. Like Nintendo is the one responsible for paying for Bayonetta for the last two Bayonettas.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't know how that would benefit Microsoft. I mean, outside of just maybe getting a big, reputable Japanese developer that could make games at Game Pass. But I mean, they're not bringing any IP per se, right?
And are the types of games that Platinum makes, are those the type of games that Xbox, the customers, are interested in?
I mean, look, Dragon Quest was a huge get for Game Pass, and I didn't hear anyone talking about it. Dragon Quest 11, great game too, a huge get. Like Phil getting that game on Game Pass was huge, but not a lot of people played it. So, I don't know, man. It's a great question. So, I don't know. Forte, would you like to see Microsoft buy Platinum or no?
Platinum is trash.
Thank you.
Why would you want to no, why? No. They should no. There's nothing else to say about that. It's like Microsoft fell on the sword back in 2014, 2015 saying that, it was mostly them, and then Platinum said nothing. Platinum made it seem like it was all Microsoft, and then they want to come out just because Microsoft throwing all this money around now, and they want to be like, hey, Microsoft, hey, how about you? We work together to revive this dead IP that we screwed you on 5, 10, 6 years ago. And I'm like,
But to
no.
be fair to Platinum, apparently they were under NDA, according to people who had some information about it, and that's why they were not able to speak on what really happened there. But regardless of what
the
regardless
NDA,
of that,
the NDA ended 6 years later or something.
I don't know. Like some NDAs have a time limit. I don't know, but all I know is that like they admitted that they were unfamiliar with Unreal Engine 4 and unable to meet deadlines due to their inexperience with the kind of game that Scalebound was supposed to be. Now, in 2022, is Platinum a better developer now to be able than they were back in, what was that, 2017 when they canceled it?
Yeah.
2016? Are they a better developer 5 years later to be able to handle this? Have they been making games that are on Unreal Engine to handle this? I think those are questions that need to be asked, and I don't think we really have the answers. Look, Babylon's Fall looks like trash to me. Sorry. Astral Chain was okay, but could have been better in my opinion. I'm trying to find if they have made any games
Bayonetta 3 looks like horse crap, and it's been in development for 5 years.
Right. So like they were on development for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which looks great with side games, and then they got taken off that. And although it's been said that just their contract ended, it's like, okay, but why do you announce that their contract ended if they were just a support studio? Like plenty of support studios contract ends and they stop working on games. No one announces it. Why was it? Why did Side Games decide to announce that? It just seems awkward, and I'm just like I just can't trust this developer. Like I know. Look, Microsoft already has developers that are unproven under their belt. I don't think they need another one.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, like they already got unproven devs.
Especially a development house that literally put other interests in front of the IP that they were literally being paid to do.
Yeah.
No.
That's
so they
a great point, Forte.
They looked at their own projects that they wanted to do.
Yeah,
I think Nintendo did have some vesting interest inside of Astro Chain, but they wanted to make near Automata. They did that. Microsoft was literally flipping a bill for them to make them a game, and they was like, no, we're going to take these resources and we're going to not only give those resources to another team, we're not even going to put our A team on your game that we are being contracted to actually make for you. We're gonna
talk about that game for a moment. Let's talk about the complete ripoff that the main character was of Dante from Devil May Cry. He looks just like him.
Dante
gave him some headphones around his neck. Let's look at the gameplay they showed us where it looks like
they just put Dante with a set of headphones.
That's what they did.
He looks just like
Dante.
He does look like Dante. Yeah,
white hair and
definitely
all.
very generic
gameplay.
looking.
You look at that gameplay. I'm like, all right, so they fighting the dragon. They're like on the dragon's left butt cheek, like popping pimples or something. I'm like, what is happening here? This is not like it was boring and it didn't show well. And I look, if it would have came out, I just don't understand the hype around this game, because if it would have came out, I think it would have bombed just like Crackdown 3 did.
I think it was interesting because it was something new, and and everybody likes dragons and stuff like that, and I think that was like a really good selling point. But listen, man, I just can't get over the fact that you were contracted to do something and all of a sudden you were like, nah, man, you don't even get the A team, you get our C team, and we're gonna take development from your game and put it on our own game because we care about our own game more.
That's pretty much what happened. Yeah. They burned that bridge. I don't see Microsoft ever going back to Scalebound. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see it happening.
I have a theory. I think when Microsoft did their first round of acquisitions, that they were talking with Platinum. I think they were. I don't think Xbox as far as they're concerned. I don't think their relationship is terrible with them. I think they might work together in the future one day, but it just won't be scale bound. It might be something else, or maybe they'll work as a support studio the way Crystal Dynamics is with another one of their developers on something. I mean, look, they got 30 plus developers now. They don't need Platinum for anything. They got enough developers. Shoot, take one of those developers that's been a full-fledged development studio under Activision, made good games, and got forced to do support work for Call of Duty, and let them make their own IP. I would rather give Raven or damn, name one of these guys, Vicarious Visions or whoever, get the opportunity to make a new IP than Platinum and Scalebound again. It's it's not necessary.
No Crossfire X, please.
No, please no, definitely no. But
you know that game got a 3 out of 10 review score. Holy shit!
It deserves it. That game is terrible. I didn't play the campaign because I refused to spend money on it, especially when it was supposed to be in Game Pass, and it wasn't really in Game Pass available for you to play. The multiplayer is terrible. It's literally 2 maps for 2 modes, and that's it. The gunplay is awful.
What was Remedy's role in this whole thing? Because I'm a huge supporter of Remedy.
Remedy did. So they had this weird. They have 2 separate campaigns that are like 2 hours long. And Remedy did one of the campaigns. So Smilegate, who is same developer that did Lost Ark, clearly their A team wasn't on Crossfire, but because Lost Ark is amazing, but Smilegate does the other campaign and the multiplayer. The multiplayer is as bare bones as it. I've never played a first person shooter that's this bad. Never in my life. The gunplay is horrendous. It's so difficult to shoot. It's almost like I'm trying to push my reticle in the direction that I want to go instead of just aiming. It's really inconsistent with that. The animations for the people that you're fighting against, and like you kill someone and they die, their body just kind of just falls. Like there's no animation for falling. I just can't believe I just said that. There's no you kill someone and there's no actual animation, like death animations in a first person shooter. Yeah, it's just like you shoot someone and then they're just down. It's
all
just
right,
like
cool.
or there's just one animation that they just reuse every single time, but it happens so fast that like you just see they're down immediately. The balancing is horrible. They got they create this character called the Boogeyman, and so like what happens is you kill enough people, you earn enough points that you can unlock this Boogeyman. So when you die, if you die, you can now come back in when you respawn as the Boogeyman. This Boogeyman is super tanky, has all this health, and he has these double like machine guns. He just you could just run. It takes all tactics out of the game because you could just rush the enemy and just start murdering everybody before they take you down. It's so weird that they even added that in there. The maps are poorly designed.
Yeah, I saw.
And it's only 2 maps.
Playing. Yeah, I saw you playing.
The
maps weren't
so bad, man. I have never played. I cannot believe that they put that out like that. Like it's in February of all time, but all the games that are coming out this month, they put that out at this time. It just seemed like they just wanted to get rid of it, just get it out here. Just forget.
I mean, they basically, I think they basically just put it out the pasture to die. I mean, you're releasing in a month where, and we're going to get to Horizon Forbidden West here in a second, but you have Horizon Forbidden West, you have, Elden Ring, you have Sifu, you have
King of Fighters.
What else? What's that?
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters. You have Destiny, the new Witch Queen DLC. I mean, it's just like, they just were like, you know what? Lost Ark. They just put this out to the pasture.
Dying Light 2. All these games that came out this month.
Let me tell you, I've never seen so many people on social media talk bad about a game the way I've seen Crossfire X. Like everyone's like, this is poo. And even the reviews are just like, I mean, it's bad. and I haven't seen a game this bad in a long time. Maybe since Devil's Third, maybe. That was pretty bad. I don't know if that's Eric's favorite game, but
So is it like is there anything redeeming about it? Is there, or is this a game that just if they gave it more time to work on it, would it be better, or is it just so fundamentally broken that no amount of work can fix it?
The amount of work they would need to put in to fix this game, it's just not worth it. I mean, like if it was me, I would just be like, look, it's done. Shut down production on this, move on to something else. It's it needs a lot of work to make it worthwhile. Even an average shooter, it needs a ton of work. It will take months to get for them to get there after already releasing it. It's got 2 maps. I have never seen a game launched. It's supposed to be all outside the campaign, the multiplayer, all multiplayer, 2 maps. Freaking 1047 games at Splitgate launched Splitgate with more maps than that. And that was at the time a team of 12 people. It's unacceptable, yo. It's just unacceptable. It's
it's unacceptable.
You know, it's the gunplay is so bad. I don't think they know why it's bad. I don't think they know how to fix it, especially because like Crossfire is over in Korea is very popular, and it is but it's like a kind of like a CS:GO kind of vibe, and classic Crossfire also did not have ADS, aim down sights. So I think they're struggling to add aim down sights in this game and struggling to make it more like other games that people enjoy, like Battlefield and Call of Duty in terms of gunplay. And they haven't nailed it. It's a game that literally should have been launched in like 2024.
Wow, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Not even next year, like a good 2 years from now, basically.
That's unfortunate. Wow. Well, let's pivot to. I know we talked about the releases this month. Mentioned Horizon Forbidden West, and the game's reviewed. The embargo went up this Monday, and the reviews have been very positive. I mean, I think it's, if you look at Metacritic, if that's something you pay attention to, overall it's 89 Metacritic score, so the same as the last Horizon. It's a good look. It's a solid entry sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which was, this was a new IP created by Guerrilla Games, and by all stretch of the imagination, it sounds like from everything I've read, it's just they just made a great quality sequel. And so Crota, I mean, you guys, I'm sure you've been out and about, pounding the pavement, talking about this game. Have you like what's that?
I said out here pounding the pavement.
Yeah, pounding the pavement. So Crota, like what's kind of been the feedback that you've been hearing from some of your retail partners about Horizon Forbidden West?
From the hardcore, like the gamers, when I go into the stores, they hate it just because of how they're being teased, because almost all stores already have already gotten their shipment in, and it's just sitting back there teasing them. and that's from the gamers. A lot of them are really, really excited, and at the same time, it really only feels like the hype and the publicity has been ramped up these last 2 weeks, it feels. There are still those few people that didn't realize the game or don't understand the game, or what it's about. And I definitely think that the lifting of the embargo and the reviews have helped immensely, because I've been to stores where I think we're at a point now where a lot of people are just have been waiting for any new release, to see what scores they get. I think people have been burned way too often lately, and it helped. I'm happy that the game is as good as it is, and it's definitely helped drive people to stores and do reserves, and that's a great thing. So,
Facts.
Yeah.
I have
what
a
do you-
question for you, Chrono. This is where my hard hitting journalistic questions come into play, Chrono.
Oh,
okay.
Can you explain to me what's going on the PSN store with the Horizon Forbidden West PS4 and PS5 versions?
So,
Yeah,
I
Chrono,
mean,
you guys need to fix that situation. That's super
But-
messy, super sloppy. The whole pricing thing.
yeah, but
don't damage control this, Kronos.
no. So when I'm looking at it, I completely understand. I completely understand the frustration. The has the home office handled it well? Probably not the
No, ain't no
wisest.
probably.
It's probably not the wisest for them to have chosen to hide the PS4 version, on the PS5 console. But and you have to remember, it was it was a last minute decision. And when I say last minute, I mean in the grand scheme of things. Remember, we weren't originally planning on giving you guys giving an upgrade path kind of thing. So I mean,
If you can find it, evil villain laugh. We'll give you a free upgrade. You have to find the PS4 version to actually get it, though.
but I mean that's the thing. It's just like,
Make me honor it.
due diligence. I mean, it's just like it's still there. It is there for people, and it says it right on the box. You're right. I mean, but we are PlayStation. If you're on the PlayStation 5, you're on the PlayStation 5. No, I get it. No, I understand completely.
Yeah, but you could just
it does
why go
seem
out,
shady.
but why buy the PlayStation 5 version? We just buy the PlayStation
Oh, no.
4 version.
Oh, you're
I've
absolutely
been
right.
able to buy the PS4 version of every other cross-gen game that has come out, but now with this one, it seems like I have to be freaking Indiana Jones to find the PS4 version or something, or to do what I did. What I did was I actually just went on the webpage on my PC and bought it from there instead of buying it directly from on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
But the fact that I had to do that though is a little
and I got the collector's edition, so I'm getting all that situation. But
it is. I mean, you're on the PS5 ecosystem, and it's it is playing on people's expectations. You're on the PS5, you want the PS5 version. I get it. Is it right? Probably not, but again, at the same time, remember,
probably it's definitely there's no probably. Let me tell you, this is Sony's biggest blunder of this generation, right? Like that, the whole pricing thing and the upgrade path has been terrible, just terrible. Like the fact that they had to put themselves in this situation because they promised something and then took it away, right? Had they just said, hey, you know what? Because there was a list of games, right, where they were supposed to offer free upgrade pass, and then that didn't happen. Then they had to walk it back, and they put themselves in this situation. But now they're advertising it like, and shout out to Hogue Law, who just tweeted that out a couple of days ago. We're like, hey, $70 and then $60. It's like, why even offer? Just make the thing $59.99. That's it, and give them the free upgrade path. But it does seem like, you know what, that they are trying to, like, if you're not a aware customer, they're taking advantage of that.
And you know what? They're going to get a lot more people who own PS5s to buy the PS5 version than the PS4 version. Mostly because the majority of them are not very informed gamers like us on this panel, the people in the chat. The majority of gamers out there don't listen to podcasts that talk about video games like that. So they probably aren't even aware of the whole controversy with Jim Ryan's statements, having to walk it back, having to make sure and give people what they said they would give, which is a free upgrade for Horizon Forbidden West. they probably not even aware about any of that. And so all they're going to do is say, wow, I just saw a commercial for this game. That game looks amazing. I remember the previous game. I'm going to buy that. And they just go on their PlayStation and they see $70 bet done. And that's going to be it. So they understand what the average consumer is like. And so they know they're still honoring what they said they were going to do, so to speak, but they know how to kind of like show things and phrase things or display things in order to make sure that the majority of the gamers that they wanted to buy the right version to them, which is the PS5 version, will do so.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
maybe it's the expectation too that gamers being gamers, they're going to go for the higher end version anyway, which isn't necessarily something that is it's already pricier as it is, and I don't know, it's
you can't spin this, man. You can't spin
I'm just
this.
a guy. I'm just a guy that's that's putting up marketing. That's all.
Don't worry, we won't string you up for this one. It's not your fault, man. You didn't make that decision.
Yeah.
I do. And to be fair, when I do go to stores, I do make sure that the employees are aware of that. That it's but beyond that, that's going to be up to the store to make sure they let customers know. But I do make it a point to let them know that there
Pass this
are.
on to the store?
What's that?
Did you just pass that on to us?
I'm not saying that. What? I gave the
Whoa,
information.
Hold up. Did I just wait? Hold on. We friends and all, but let me hold on. Did I just literally hear you say
Where's my
that's up to
popcorn?
Did you just literally say that's up to the store? Are you serious?
I'm just saying I gave the information to the store.
No. You said outside of me giving this information to the store, like the way you framed it was like you're letting all your friends at the retail stores like, yo, if you're gonna buy Horizon's Forbidden West, don't buy it through your PlayStation 5. Go to the app and buy it. Buy it through the app so you can get it for $50 and save yourself $10 because you're getting the same thing. But then
60,
you literally just said that I'm passing it up. It's up to the store. It's up to us. No, man, no. First of all, Sony went out of their way to make sure that we can't even sell digital copies in stores anymore. So we can't even sell a person a digital copy. So it definitely can't be on us. All we can do is sell a person a PS. You know what? I'm gonna tell everybody, yo, you know what? Don't buy a PS5 version of the game. Buy this PS4 version of the game so you can literally get your upgrade. I'm gonna do that tomorrow when I go to work. Everybody that's got a PS5 copy on pre-order be like, yo, save yourself $10. Come get a PS4 version so you ain't gotta pay that Sony tax that they promised you a year ago.
Hey, I've mentioned it to stores. If that is in the end, if that is what you decide you're going to have to do, that is what you're going to have to do.
I love you so freaking much.
The way he said I mentioned it to stores, I can imagine him having like a good hour-long conversation with a store manager, and then on the way out, like halfway out the door, he goes, "Oh yeah, hey, you can get a free upgrade for Horizon if you get the PS4 version. All right, I'm out. Take care, guys." It's like it's the throwaway comment at the end.
Oh man, you have never been in the crosshair with me before, but you just crossed it. How you gonna say that? And you used to be a GameStop, so you know customers don't like. Oh no, I ain't gonna save that money. Why not? Okay, it's okay though. It's fine. Ran over.
I mean,
but it is pretty bad, Jeremy. It is pretty bad that they're doing that.
I will fully admit it, and like I said, I've done my due diligence to let people know. But if what they do with that information is completely up to them. So,
yeah, Forte, how have pre-orders been for this game, man?
Pretty strong. I mean, of course, all pre-orders are pretty down because right now it's a lot of people buy digital and stuff too, but in general, the pre-orders for the game have been really strong. We had a really good growth over the last 3-4 days, just to the fact that everybody is excited for the game now. But
Yeah.
I do in my store have like I think 9 copies of the Regalia edition and like 4 or 5 of the standard collector's edition. So we gonna eat tomorrow at midnight.
Are you guys? I haven't been. Stores have been inconsistent in terms of what they've been told. So you're doing a midnight, Forte?
Well, all stores can do one. I'm going to do one just because I have a lot of people that want to get it. But I also told them I want to get it too at midnight. So that's kind of the main reason I'm doing it. It's not because anybody else. So it's pretty much as soon as we're done with DPS, I told them, I said, yeah, I'll be at the store. We'll only be open for like 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going up there right at like 11:45 to open right up at midnight so I can get my copy and get the heck up out of there.
Yeah, no, it's from what I've been seeing at retailers, like I mentioned, because of the lifting of the embargo and the good scores, it's definitely brought up a lot of people. But like Forte mentioned, there's been a huge, I think reservation numbers is across the board is down. But I think it's only because so many people are going digital now. I think that's just the reality of the industry now. So.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that's no, that's interesting. I'm sorry, hold on a sec here. Yeah, no, that's interesting. That I just lost my train of thought.
I'm
reading the chat. No, I'm reading the chat. That's why I'm like, listening, read the chat. Let me grab the super chat real quick. Sir X with the $2 super chat says, give Scalebound to Bethesda like perfect matchup. Thank you for that super chat, Sir X-Men. Yeah, look, I'm hyped. I have the is the Regala the edition? Is that the Forte? Is that the one that's like the most expensive?
Yeah, it's the one with the giant elephant with the house on its back.
You said the giant. That's the one that also
comes. That's the one that also has the replica of the Focus, right?
Yeah, it does. I like the way that one looks. I didn't like it. I didn't realize that it was. I thought they were the same, and then I looked at it. I was like, oh no, this one has literally more detail in it. Yeah, it's a really cool looking collector's edition.
I'm torn because I'm pretty sure my home office is going to get me a copy of the game, but I don't know if it's the standard or like a deluxe edition. So I'm just like, but I want all the bonus stuff. So so do I not play it and wait for a physical copy to come in, or do I just bite the bullet and just play it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think my like I have the one that's below the Regala edition, but I think mine ships like 2 days after. So I double dipped. I got the what's it called, the physical copy of it. So I'll just trade into GameStop when I'm done with the game. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to play this game. And then after that, the next week we have Elden Ring. It's gonna be nuts. So I got like a week to play. I got a week to play Horizon then, before I get an Elden Ring, which I'm gonna do. So, and then 14, you have. Go ahead, man.
No, I said I still can't wrap my head around Soulsborne style games. I know that it's some of the most popular games out there, but I just can't do it. I just can't play them. So, maybe if I can find Elden Ring on the cheap, but at the same, I don't think I'll be buying it anytime soon.
Yeah, that's day one for me, and I got the statue for that, or the collector's edition for that too. So, this month is gonna be a little expensive for me.
Did you pre-order at GameStop?
Yeah, I got the I got the I got it from GameStop. That's right. Yep, I got it from GameStop.
You make sure you get your tarnish ring as your pre-order bonus.
But again,
it's a 10-inch ring too, so it's actually pretty cool.
Oh shit! I have to wear that on BRAP and like just turn on my camera.
I know, man. You gotta go out there and do that, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and flaunt. So
go out there and say flawless victory every time you beat a boss.
Flawless victory. Hold on a sec here. We got the Russians back in the chat. What's going on here? All right. Yeah. So can't wait. Can't wait for Friday. Can't wait to play this game. Super hyped. It's gonna be an awesome game. So, you know, gentlemen, I'm out of topics. So,
we can get out of here early, man.
We can get out of here early. Yeah. Go play some video games, right? I'm gonna go play some Dying Light 2. Because I gotta get. I think I'm getting close to the end of the main campaign. So if I can finish it before Friday, it'd be awesome. Probably not gonna happen though. So yeah.
So despite I was going to ask Enrique, despite your need and want for a whole new computer to run it properly, how are you liking the game?
Oh, I like it a lot. I've been really enjoying it. It's got a fun gameplay loop. Love the exploration. The parkour is okay. Combat's very simple. Not really anything to write home about, but it's a good game. It's got a good, decent story, and I like zombie games. Crafting's great. Very reminiscent of the way you craft in The Last of Us, right? But I definitely enjoy it. Like it's really cool. It's a little the game. There's some optimization issues with playing the game with co-op online. It definitely gets a little choppy, but it's a fun game. It's got a very fun and addicting gameplay loop. So I'm enjoying it. But like I said, I know if I don't finish it, I probably won't get back to it until I get the new PC. So yeah, but anyhow, so. Well, look, I want to give a shout there with a live chat. Yeah, we're going to wrap up early tonight because we just blew through all the topics here, but had a great conversation with the panel, and appreciate everyone in the live chat. If you're new, please subscribe, hit the bell notification. So, yes, Daniel, we're going to call it a night. But yeah, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, bell notifications so you're alerted when we go live. And also, please check out DPS Podcast tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Whose channel is it going to be on tomorrow night?
Forte.
My channel next.
It's going to be on your channel, Forte?
Yeah, my channel.
Okay, awesome. But all right, cool. So check it out on Forte's channel tomorrow, and then
it's on the inferior channel this week.
Oh,
why do you say the inferior channel?
Cause man, Slow-Mo, man. Have you seen Slow-Mo? Man, Slow-Mo, man, he got all the support.
Oh
boy.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So just go to Slow-Mo's channel or Forte's channel tomorrow. And then I want to give a big shout out to Chrono, who was kind enough to let us put him in the hot seat and kind of hold his feet to the fire with Sony's bad upgrade prices or whatever it's called. But no, Chrono, always a pleasure, man. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you again.
I always appreciate. I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone. Forte, Slow-Mo, Enrique. Love you guys. Thank you so much for letting me hang out with you guys.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, man. Anytime you wanna join, man. Just let us know, man. Open door, man. So
Thank you.
Yeah. And on that note, want to give a big shout out to Slow-Mo and Forte. Slow-Mo, thank you again, sir, for helping me pick out a new PC monitor. Appreciate that, man. Let everyone know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me on my channel, on my YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter channel by the same name, Slow-Mo Backslap. I'll be live tomorrow around lunchtime as usual for Lunchtime with Slow-Mo. We'll be finishing up on the A Wolf Among Us season 1. So we'll be doing the last 2 episodes.
Dude, I love those lunch streams, by the way, man. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, they're very nice. I like them. And it's really cool you're playing not The Last of Us, The Wolf Among Us. It's a good game, by the way. Not my favorite Telltale games. That would be Tales from the Borderlands. But yeah, but definitely a solid game. So, and then we got Forte. Forte, man, thanks again, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Forte. Have you shipped out the Series X, sir?
I did. I shipped it out yesterday.
All right, so it should be here. Forte, thank you again, man.
Yeah, I think they said Saturday.
All right. So I appreciate that, man. Forte is out here doing the Lord's work for gamers, man. Appreciate you, man. Let everyone know they can find you as well.
Yo, well, Forte everywhere. First of all, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation. Like you said, DPS podcast on my channel. Tomorrow, gonna be a really, really good show with the homeboy, Slomo Backslap. We're gonna have Ham Solo as our special guest on the show tomorrow. So definitely come through and check that out. And Chrono, it's always great to have you on the show, even knowing you were shilly for half a second today. And but you do get paid to do it, so I can't be mad at you. But no, it was a great show, and you guys have a great day and a great week. Enjoy Horizon when it comes out.
Yay.
Yeah. Can't wait. Friday's going to be great. Enjoy Horizon. And everyone, enjoy the rest of the week. Huh?
I said that rhyme. You said can't wait. It's going to be great. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Go ahead.
Dropping bars here, Slow-Mo. Bars. Everyone, yeah, have a great week and enjoy playing video games. Remember, it's all about having fun. Gaming's all about having fun. That's most important. So enjoy it, and we'll catch you guys. I may do a BRAP rant this weekend. I'm not sure yet. So keep an eye out for that. Give me a follow on the Twitters, BRAP_podcast on Twitter. So, but again, everyone have a great rest of the week. We'll catch you next week if I don't do a BRAP rant this weekend. And we're out.